Hey, and welcome to an interview with Kirsty Gray. That's me. I'm from England and I'm an ambassador at Roots Tech. My company is Family Wise Limited and I'm involved with lots of different voluntary organisations. And I'm here interviewing Chris Whitten today, who I had the pleasure yesterday of meeting. I don't think you can really miss a shirt that colour, Chris. WikiTree's is all orange. And I had the pleasure of having lunch with Chris yesterday. And I've invited him to talk to us today because WikiTree's is, I think, really different and really undervalued in the community. I don't think people know enough about it. So I'm here to give Chris the opportunity to tell us a little bit more. So do you want to start off, Chris, with telling us a little bit about why you started up WikiTree's and kind of the background to why you did that?
Thanks, Kirsty. So WikiTree is a collaborative single-family tree. So it's a community of genealogists who are all working together on one tree. I've been doing community websites for 20 years. I've been working on WikiTree now for 7.
Right.
And this is a very personal thing for me. I mean, genealogy has always been important, or family history. You know, for me, it was family history. And I grew up as the family archivist, you know, as the guy who would collect everything, and everybody in the family knew I was the one that wanted to collect everything.
Oh, great. So you've had a lot that's been handed down through the family yourself.
Yes, yeah, I actually have a wonderful collection now, and I treasure it, and I have an the sort of personality that, number one, I don't want things to be lost, and I want to know how they fit in. And was that the kind of the driver to WikiTree? Yeah, I mean, there's a long history. I don't want to tell you, bore you with the whole thing. But I had developed, just for my own use and for my own family, that's how it started.
Right.
But then when I was finished, another business, which was a wiki, it was called WikiAnswers. It's now answers.com. So it's a collaborative Q&A. It's where people work together asking and answering questions. So I had that background of, community websites and of wikis. So when the time came when I had sold my previous business and was able to focus on this, that's when I started WikiTree.
Brilliant.
And it's been growing since then.
Fantastic. So there's a lot of things that kind of say they're free family trees and things like that. So what's your USP? What's your unique thing that's different from other people in the business?
Well, first of all, it's 100% free. And what I mean by that is there are no premium memberships.
Great.
Like, it's really important to my picture of what free is that first of all, the content is completely free. Nobody ever pays to access anything.
Wow.
And there's no upper level. You can't pay to then have certain features or benefits.
It's all available to anybody.
Right.
Brilliant.
Right. So we really are the only completely independent, completely free, collaborative single-family tree.
So now I have to ask, because I'm chair of lots of different organisations and involved with lots of different things. I'm chair of the Surname Society, and I know that you have a really good function. Do you want to explain about the function that's really useful to surname studiers?
Yeah, well, we've got a few things that I think are really underutilized. Mm-hmm. So we have a surname index page, for every surname. Mm-hmm. There are about 11 million people on WikiTree. Well, 300,000 genealogists, about 11 million profiles.
Okay.
So one of the ways we organize, of course, is by surname. Mm-hmm. And we have projects, so we have a lot of surname projects. And these could be people who are also project leaders at Family Tree DNA or the Surname Society or the Guild. But they can organize, as a project at WikiTree, and that doesn't have to be formal, but it's a way to promote their website. If there's a website for the Surname Society, for the Surname Group, that'll be promoted. There are tags. So a surname is a tag that members follow. That's a way to organize members. We have ways to organize content, and surname obviously is a way to organize profiles, but tags are a way to organize members.
Yeah.
So if you're following Gray, that's a...
I don't think I would.
That's a tag. It's easy to get overwhelmed with certain tags and certain surnames.
Yeah, definitely.
But really, anybody who's involved in, if they aim for collaboration, if they aim for genealogy collaboration, even if you don't want to be actively involved in doing that collaboration at WikiTree, you can definitely find some other collaborators. You can definitely find some other...
And can you do that by place as well as surname? If there's particular places where people originated or were born or married or whatever, is there a function for that as well?
Yeah. Well, so one of the nice ways about the way we do these tags is it's completely organic, sort of bottom-up organization.
Right.
So people, can start projects on just about anything.
Oh, wow.
And some of the projects are huge, but some of them are just
tiny.
one person and
Yeah.
waiting for somebody else to
Sure.
help. So yeah, definitely there are a lot of one-place studies on WikiTree. There are a lot of
great.
one-name studies, and a lot of big ones like the European aristocrats or the Mayflower or Puritan Great Migration groups.
So you encourage collaboration between lots of people who are members and contributors.
WikiTree is all collaboration.
Right.
I mean that is what defines it.
So really, it seems like a bit of a no-brainer in terms of it's free, everyone can access it. So why do people not really know so much about WikiTree? That's my question, I suppose.
Well, it's low budget. It's free,
Of course.
which means and we're not associated with another group or organization.
Right.
So
So
we
the
do.
marketing is perhaps a little bit more limited than if you had funding to do that.
There's no marketing.
Right.
There's no marketing.
Okay.
It's from the members.
So word of mouth is the way to
Right.
do it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. No. It's very intentional. To keep it small and organic, and it's grown by the community. So even though we're 7 years old, it is still relatively small. And a lot of genealogists don't even know about it.
No. Well, I mean, I registered yesterday and put my Silliphant study name in and was amazed that there was somebody with 7 in their tree. So I was really excited. And I'd never put anything in then. Obviously put my maiden name in. So I literally just put in that detail and that was it. And I could search straight away. So.
Yeah. Well, another thing, we do scare away a lot of people intentionally.
Right.
And although
An interesting concept.
we welcome every genealogist,
Okay.
but not every genealogist wants to collaborate.
Of course. They want to put their stuff there,
Yes.
but not actually engage with other people.
Yeah, and you can get yourself into trouble. So I do say everybody, even if they don't want to necessarily collaborate on WikiTree, they can get certain things out of WikiTree.
Yeah.
But don't upload your GEDCOM.
No.
I mean, don't start to engage if you can't continue to.
Right.
Because that was a problem. Lessons we learned very early on. Is to limit the size of GEDCOM imports. Because it's very easy to want to share your genealogy. You want to
Yes.
share what you've done. But
You don't necessarily want to have that response back again.
maybe you don't want it challenged.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't want somebody saying, "Hey, this source where
Is
did you
that a
get
little
this?
bit- yeah,
Where did you get this?
for sure,
And
yeah.
is this really the child? Is
Okay.
this really the parent?" So you have to expect on WikiTree when you add information that you're going to be engaged by others who want
Of
to
course.
question it, who want to make those merges.
Yeah.
And for many of us, that's what we want.
But for some, it isn't so much.
Well, there's no question that it's time consuming, and a lot of genealogists are already doing other things in other environments. We don't say to everybody to put up everything.
No, of course.
Things that
So, but you can upload GEDCOMs, you say?
you can.
Is that the only
Yeah.
format you can upload data in, or?
Well, of course, you can upload, photos and documents as PDFs. and
Right.
that sort of
So you
thing.
can kind of upload the tree first of all, and then add other things in.
Yeah, profiles are very rich at WikiTree. So it's not just
Right.
a tree.
Okay.
It's about, every page celebrates a person. So we put a big emphasis on biographies at
Right.
WikiTree. You can attach photos. Photos can attach to multiple people. Of course, you can link to anything as well.
Yeah.
At WikiTree, it's open to the rest of the web. WikiTree is not a closed environment. This is it embraces hypertext and linking in the World Wide Web. So there's no reason if you've got a profile on other websites where it can be accessed, we want those links.
And I know when we spoke yesterday, you said that SEO was important so that you could get the trees really high when people were searching for names, so that then they'd find contributors, trees in WikiTree.
Yeah, SEO, for those that don't know, is shorthand for search engine optimization, which just means making your website work well for Google in particular. And so, a lot of the reason that many genealogists come to WikiTree, that they want to use WikiTree, is what we call cousin bait.
Yes.
Because people are going to find what you add to WikiTree.
What you put on there.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
so when your grandparent, your great-grandparent is on WikiTree, you're going to find distant cousins
Yeah,
that
second,
you didn't
third
know about.
cousins or whatever,
Yeah,
yeah.
because they're going to find that profile you created.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Well, I think we need to wrap up in a minute. Is there anything else you wanted to add to tell everybody about WikiTree before we finish up?
Well, I guess one thing, to emphasize is that it's a welcoming community. It can be intimidating because there's a lot to it.
Sure.
WikITree's been around 7 years. There's so much that can be done,
Right.
and there's not a single member that does everything or
No.
understands everything about it. But one of the best things is the community. We have just a Q&A site. We call it G2G, for genealogist to genealogist.
Oh, okay.
It's a completely open forum, so anybody
Brilliant.
can come in and ask a question. So the people that feel comfortable doing that, that as soon as they run into a problem, they don't mind just asking how to
Sure.
do something, they tend to have a better experience.
Great. Well, thank you very much for your time. And I'm sure lots of people will be looking at WikiTree because it's free.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Chrissy.